Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Healing Connections podcast. I'm your host, Emmy Vadnais, and today we are talking about the intersection of intuition and health. So, this has been a big focus of my work for many years, and intuition can really assist you with your own health, wellness, and even prevention of disease, because the way that you connect with your intuition, while it can come in flashes of insight or through dreams, it often can come through when our mind is more still or quiet. And the different methods that we use to quiet our mind often have tremendous health benefits. And the word heal means to make well again, to become free from injury or disease, to mend, or to make sound or whole. So the word health, heal, really means that sense of wholeness. And intuition can really help you to connect with that wholeness within yourself and to find that deep part of you that is whole and complete, that is free from worry, concerns, free from judgments. And while, yes, we do need to be able to plan, and fear can serve a purpose, but oftentimes these things can get in our way of our true selves, the part of us that is whole and complete. So first and foremost, being able to connect with your intuition in and of itself has great benefits of being able to have that sense of connection to yourself, which often for most people can also connect you to a sense of all or to the oneness, which is why intuition often can help you to also have more of a personal experience with your own spirituality and also help you to develop your own spirituality, whatever that means for you. And it can also really help you to lower your stress. Let's face it, there are so many different challenges. Being human is not always an easy path. We all have our own tasks to accomplish, our own to-do lists, challenges, relationships, finances, shelter, food, all these different things that we need in order to survive and to feel love, feel a sense of connection, feel peace and joy. They can sometimes seem elusive at times. And again, through connecting with those activities that help you to connect with your intuition, which one of the primary ways and a classic way to do that is through meditation, or really any activity that can help you quiet your mind and not thinking about the past or the future. And there's been so much research coming out in the last 5-10 years plus that yogis and religious spiritual leaders have known for eons that by engaging in this activity, we can really dive deep into ourselves and then connect to this all, to this oneness and really the universe, which is really a beautiful experience. And yes, we do need to engage in the physical world and participate in that way. But by connecting within, we can find that greater peace within ourselves. We can lower the stress, lower sense of fear or worry or anxiety, and help transform limiting beliefs and limiting emotions. Meditation also is a connection with the mind and the body, meaning that by engaging in a meditation practice, we can also affect how our body is functioning, our physiological processes. So meaning we can lower our heart rate, we can lower the blood pressure, we can lower our breath rate, and we can also shift our body to slow the metabolism down and get into that more rest and digest process that's the opposite of the stress response, which is that fight, flight, or freeze response, which really science has been showing us now that can impact the ways that our genes, the ways that your genes actually express themselves. Meaning that if you engage in activities that cause repeated stress or a significant stressor, that it can impact the ways that your genes are functioning. And this seems to be, we might know more as time goes on, but this seems to be a primary or one of the main ways that our health can become negatively impacted is because of stress. And what you might be predisposed for, meaning what you might have an inclination toward just by your genetic makeup and who you are, when you go through stress or have significant or repeated stress over time, your genes can negatively express for whatever you might have been predisposed for. So if, let's say that you've been in a relationship or a job that's causing you significant stress, and over time, a person might start to develop heart issues or heart disease. Now, I'm not suggesting that by engaging in these intuitive activities, you can prevent everything from happening in your life. However, there seems to be enough research now that I think it's even over 90% of our health and wellness is up to us, meaning the activities that we engage in, our beliefs, can impact the way that we can stay well or have illness or disease. And I certainly understand that sometimes accidents happen. And, there's the whole element of karma, meaning that sometimes certain things happen to people and maybe it's just part of their own life path or their own journey, part of their own learning they're meant to experience. Sometimes we do learn through challenges and through struggle or heartache. And I wish it wasn't the case. And that's why I want to share this with you, is because I do think that you can lessen that stress, lessen sadness, grief, depression by connecting with your intuition, which is your own inner knowing, your inner wisdom that's always there for you, like your greatest best friend who can cheer you on and give you the best advice whenever you want it. And so through meditation, we're able to impact our health and wellness in very positive directions, which also then simultaneously we can gain insight into dynamics in our own psyche, maybe things that we're working out in our own psyche, or dynamics, personal dynamics in relationships, or maybe professional dynamics in work, so that you can have more insight into maybe certain decisions, as we saw in the previous episode on the podcast here, how intuition can help you to make the best decisions. Intuition can assist you with that, which I have found over the years, and the people I've had the great fortune of sharing this with, that they can really lower stress. And that's another way of lowering stress is by being able to have the confidence to know that you are making the best decisions, and that as you go forth and access your inner wisdom, your intuition, and make decisions and find that it actually is improving areas of your life, then as you access your intuition and make other decisions, you'll go forward more confidently, which also helps with lowering stress, because stress can really negatively impact our health, not only our physical health, but our sense of well-being and wellness and joy in life, and our sense of outlook, our mindset, even just getting out of bed in the morning, that if we're feeling down or, having grief and loss, which sometimes might be normal and it's okay to grieve and experience that loss. But if we're getting so down and having a hard time functioning, in my experience, because I've had many times in my life where I felt quite down, and that's why I'm so passionate about intuition, is because I was having one of the most down times in my life that I talk about at the beginning of my book, when I was transitioning early on in my work career, that intuition was really what helped pull me out of that dark place and really connect with that light, which is, I think, what we're all really looking for, is connecting to that light, that love, that joy, and doing it in a really authentic way. Right? Because sometimes we might think that the new shiny thing, the new shiny whatever it is, or the new shiny relationship might be better. Or maybe the grass is greener. And that might be true in certain cases. However, sometimes we might be grasping for external rewards when really we need to go ahead and dive deep within ourselves, which, this is something that sages and wise people have been saying for years. I just wanted to share a little bit about this intersection of intuition, connecting with your own inner knowing, that insight, and how it can benefit your health and wellness as well going forward. So, like I was saying, that the activities that connect you to your intuition or that can help you cultivate it further, the classic ways, they all have these amazing mind, body, spirit health benefits. And so if you are going through a hard time, or maybe you've just broken up from a relationship, or maybe there's some loss that happened for you, that by engaging in these activities, it can help you to come into the present moment, to just simply be with yourself, can assist you with feeling better and also gaining more insight and a best path forward with everything. Now, this isn't to say that, oh, you should ignore your negative feelings or try to bypass them or push them aside. I would say quite the contrary. In fact, I think that's why mindfulness, which is one of the ways that can help you with your intuition, can help you to see clearly so that you can connect with and come into that state of being in your own heart-centered self, being in that loving, compassionate presence, the witness consciousness, the part of you that is loving and compassionate and is able to observe your inner and outer life from a place of non-judgment, from a place of unconditional acceptance and unconditional love, which I tell you is not always an easy task. And that's why we want to practice it. And that's why really making ideally a daily practice of, I should also say prayer. So, if you have your own religious or spiritual practice with prayer, this can also help you connect with your intuition, so that you can quiet that mind and be able to come into your centered self. And then you can bring that compassion to these wounded parts of you. Because remember, the word heal is all about making yourself feel and be whole, which I think is a journey we're all on here in life, is to recognize that wholeness within ourselves and to also at the same time expand our wholeness, which is what I think is so beautiful about consciousness. And connecting with intuition is really in the realm of consciousness, because we're connecting with our mind, our consciousness, in order to access it. And I would say it's a higher form of our consciousness, which has so many amazing benefits as we're talking about here today. And so that you can then truly observe yourself with love and compassion and embrace yourself, much like you would a wounded animal or a crying child. And in fact, I created a mindfulness meditation, loving yourself meditation on YouTube here. So you can listen to that anytime you would like. And by all means, definitely get in touch with somebody who can support you, maybe a therapist or a coach or something like that who's trained in this, so that if you do come into areas that maybe have an element of trauma for you, or something that just might feel a little bit more difficult to move past on your own, you might want the support of some external individual who can bring that love and compassion to you, so you don't have to go through it alone as well. By engaging with your intuition, you can also access this deep well, or that connection to the all. Some people might refer to it as the Akashic records, being able to receive information. And once you're able to gather information, and what I love about intuition is that I do believe that it's true and accurate within the moment of what you need to know and hear. And then once you're able to gather that information, you can also align that with your own intention, what it is you want to manifest. And sometimes our dreams and goals are truly aligned with our authentic selves. And sometimes it's part of what might be referred to as the ego self, the part of us that's the false self, or the part of us that thinks that if we had that thing or had that experience or X, Y, or Z, that we would be more happy. And so your intuition can help you to authentically discover what it is you really want in your life. And this is why I'm so passionate about this, is because I really do believe that if more of us were connected with our true selves in this way, we'd have, not only would you be much more happy, but there would be a lot more goodness happening in the world. Once you've gained access to that information, received that beautiful information for yourself, you can then use your own mind and consciousness to imagine having it, to manifest it, which interestingly also has physiological scientific research that shows that this can benefit not only your mental health, but your physical health. In fact, there's a great book by Dr. Herbert Benson, The Relaxation Revolution, that has many research cases in there about people who are able to reverse physical illnesses. And they did this by engaging in what was his initial relaxation response activity that he developed, and I believe it was in the 70s. And then he and some other folks, so it's called the Benson-Henry Protocol in his book, created the second phase to that. So essentially the first phase is you get into a relaxation state, however you want to do that. It could be through listening to music, it could be exercise, it could be formal meditation or prayer. And then you engage in that for maybe 10, 15 minutes or so. And then the second phase is that you actually visualize having what it is you want. Now, in his case, because he's a medical doctor, it's coming from the lens of somebody who would have had, and maybe you do, who had a physical health problem. And this also can work for mental health issues as well. And in that second phase, he has you imagine how you would be, how you would feel, how would you look. Imagine how you were before you had whatever it is that you're dealing with. And essentially, it's a law of attraction, which is being able to, so that's like attracts like. So it's imagining what you want to have happen as though it's happening now. And this comes from a line of guided imagery, creative visualization, which goes back into shamanic practices, which is part of who we are as humans, right? Think about in your life when there was a goal that you achieved. How did you achieve it? It's likely that you thought a lot about it. It's likely that it was something that you really had passion for. And that feeling component is really huge and powerful for manifesting and creating what you want in life. So essentially, an abbreviated version of this from a law of attraction perspective is to think about what you don't want, think about what you do want, and then imagine that you have what it is you want, and to feel as though it's happening right now. And I have to say, in my life, it's definitely happened quite a bit. There have been times that there were things that I thought I wanted and they didn't quite come to pass. But then when I look back, I realize that what was for my highest good and greatest joy did actually occur. And that's a big intention in my life, just kind of overall. Talking about the law of attraction and manifestation, is that I really have an intention deep within the core of my consciousness that I want to manifest what's for my highest good and greatest joy and everyone else's highest good and greatest joy, so that what I'm bringing forward is in alignment with that. So that's where those affirmations can be really powerful. Maybe your own personal intention statement or your own personal mission statement or whatever, however you want to phrase that, however it works for you, is really powerful in creating and manifesting what you want in life. And I can't think of anything more pleasurable or beautiful or wonderful for the intersection of intuition and health than living the life that you really want to live, that's truly and authentically in alignment and in harmony with who you are and the gifts you're meant to bring forward and the ways that you're meant to enjoy your life. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you have great experiences with connecting with your intuition, because it's really beautiful. It can be very peaceful. And I really hope that you're able to manifest what you want in the realm of health, because health is wealth, right? It's being able to have your physical body optimized functioning in the most optimal way, your mental health, so that you can achieve your dreams. And some people feel that even if they're healthy, that is achieving their dreams, because you can enjoy so much within that experience. And again, if you find that by engaging in some of the activities, remember that the primary way is through meditation or contemplation or prayer, whatever that is for you, whatever's meaningful for you around that. That's the primary way to connect with intuition. But if you find that you kind of bump up into areas that are uncomfortable within your own psyche or consciousness, to reach out for support and to get help with that. So thank you so much for listening. And until next time, be well. Namaste.